Hello, everybody.
Yo.
Welcome to the meeting. You guys are all muted. You guys are all muted right now. When you want to speak, if you haven't been on it before, when you want to speak, just unmute yourself and off we go. But we're going to get going. We're not going to wait for many other people as they log in. They get on. But my name is Mihai. I've been around Gannon for about 21 years. That makes us both old, but we're good. I'm just going to kick this off by welcoming you guys. And you guys got the emails and you saw that there's some topics. There's some topics that Gannon's going to cover at first, and then we go from there. He's got a nice little treat for you guys at the end, a little speed round. So GBB, over to you, brother.
Hey man, I know all your secrets too, man. So don't piss me off.
Okay, you got it.
But hey, I appreciate everybody being on the call. Just a reminder, as you know, you can watch this video later at any time. We record it, we mail it to you. I'm going to start off by answering 3 pretty good questions we picked out. We got a lot of questions. We couldn't answer all of them, but I wanted to pick out some ones that I thought were pertinent, were ones that, I had trouble with when I first started training, and also ones that I get a lot of now from people that do local training. So with that being said, after the questions, I have a question. We got some people coming in, man. If you
you guys should be all muted. Mute yourselves, fellas, ladies.
Yeah,
mute.
What's up?
There's a lot of
mute yourself.
There's a lot of background. Yeah, just mute so you guys can hear.
Okay.
If you could just mute yourself, and then when it's time to talk, there you go. But after the questions, man, I want to spend some time with you guys. I got 4 major questions that I've been thinking about, and I've asked some NBA personnel, some college coaches, what they feel, got their answers. I have my own answers, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. It'll stretch your mind. It'll get you a compass of what you need to teach if you have kids for a short amount of time. But the question will be, what's the best individual physical offensive fundamental that you need to teach a kid? Is it shooting? Is it moving without the ball? Is it creating with the dribble? What's the best skill to teach a kid individually, physically, from an offensive perspective, and why? And so I'll give you 30 seconds to do that toward the end of this call. We'll be on this call for about 50 minutes. But the first question I got was how to attract college players to work out with you. What does it take to get college players to come work out with you? So good question. I think it was Coach Spencer. And my answer to that is, number one, why do you want to work out with college players? That's number one. It's to me, doing this for over 24 years, 19 as a business, if I have a 10-year-old that's passionate and has a purpose and is locked in, that's a fun workout. If I have a 12-year-old that's elite, right, I'm just as engaged with working out with that 12-year-old that works hard, that listens, that buys in, there's a relationship with, than working out a pro. I've worked out many pros that their attitude sucks. I've worked out many college players that didn't want to be there, that were jerks. And so, that's not always fun. Why do you want to work out a college player? College players don't pay. College players are broke. College players don't value education. So they're entitled, especially the Division I, especially the scholarship guys. They got no money. So if you're going to work out a college player, that's fine, but you're not going to make any money. That's not a business. You know what I mean? And if you all you guys do this for a living or want to do this for a living, you got to think like a businessman. And so, that's my answer. I never started working out college players. I still don't work out a lot of college players. They don't pay. So why would I work them out? If they come to me and say, Coach, work me out, here's what I don't even give them my daily rate at home. If they come to me is $150 an hour. And with that, I pay my gym fee if I have one, or whatever. But that's what I don't even give them that. I say, hey, what can you afford? And some of them are shocked. What do you mean, Coach? I thought I don't want to work out. Well, it costs money to work out, dog. What's your budget? And so they might say 15, 20 bucks. And then I have to make the decision. All right, well, I'll train him for 15 or 20 or not. But, I just think that you need to really think about your customer base. Okay. It's not about what you want, who you want to work out. Everybody wants to work out, college players, high school players, NBA players, but you're not going to make enough money to do this for a living. So now, if that doesn't matter to you, here's my answer. Here's how you attract a college player. Be a great coach. Work. Know your stuff. Be great where you are. If you are great, they will come. I mean, I don't know. What do you hold up a sign? Hey, I'll do a marketing campaign for college. To me, it's very simple. If you can go, they will know. I mean, I attracted college players because I was working my ass off training the 9-year-old. I was showing them triple threat. I was showing them floaters. My drills were engaging. My charisma was addictive. My intensity, my energy up. My motor was up. I was working hard for them. I was showing them game stuff. Yeah, the kid was 9 or 10 years old and he couldn't do it, but I was still in it. And so I never forget a guy named Devin Green. Played for the Lakers a little bit for 2 years. Now he's over in, I want to say, the Middle East playing. But Devin Green was a college kid at Hampton University. I was working out like an 11-year-old at Kickintan High School. And he was like, hey, can you work me out? I love what you do. And so I started working them out for free because I needed elite players to get on my resume so I could leverage myself to the public. Because yes, the public doesn't think you're good unless you have some eye candy. So the more eye candy you have, like a picture with a LeBron or some video with Amari, personally speaking, some pictures with some college players, then you will attract more grassroots players that can pay. And yeah, you might get lucky. What I started doing is I trained Devin and his 4 teammates each for $10. So I was making $50 an hour training 5 of the Hampton University players. And then I went over and talked to the coach and I convinced him through my charisma, through my selling, through my passion, right? I always say it, if your passion is up, your paychecks will follow. But when you have the passion, you got to have competency as well. So I talked to Hampton University coach to pay me $1,000 for the month. And I worked his team out twice a week for that month. So I don't know if it was legal or not, but it was legal for me. I wasn't breaking any rules. That was his problem to find out whether it was legal, and the compliance director okayed that. So great question that got me fired up, but the short answer is be a great teacher, know your stuff, bring all the methods of teaching we talk about, and all the players will come. Now, from a business standpoint, obviously you can market yourself to college players. You can DM them. You can go meet with them. You can go to games, meet with them afterwards, all that. So, Coach Spencer, if you need more talk on that, email me and we'll go more in depth on practical stuff. But, hey, if you get after it, they'll come. And if they're not coming, try to get in front of them somehow, maybe at a camp, maybe, go up to them and work them out pro bono. But find them, give them a workout, and if you're good, the tribe will follow. Next question, I think, was Coach Spencer again. Coach Spencer, you got some good questions, man. We picked both of your questions for this forum. From a business revenue perspective, is it best to only work with young players? I find that the market for high school athletes to pay for workouts is on a decline. And the buzzer sounds, no, high school athletes is not on the decline. I train a lot of high school athletes, and they pay anywhere between 50 an hour to 150 an hour. If they can't pay 150 an hour, I package them in. They might pay 40 an hour. I'll work out 3 kids, 3 high school kids. They pay 40, 40, 40. I'm making 120 an hour. It's not on the decline, but you're absolutely right. The younger the player, the more of a hope curve the parents have, the more of a hope curve the young player has, meaning they're young, they're figuring out their sport. They still have hope that, man, I can be a great high school player. I can play in college. And so they'll be more in tune to invest in training, in camps. High school players sometimes, the older you get, the more ignorant you get, and you go through puberty. And we always talk about research that said, you know, your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. That's why you can't rent a car unless you're 25. So, and I always say the research I've done, if you're age 13 to 25, means you're at the height of your stupidity. You're at the height of your inconsistency, and to be young means to be immature and inconsistent. And incompetent and ignorant. So you got to teach you got to get high school players to buy in, because they're in that cool stage and they want to play more and get that exposure. So they'll be willing to pay $300, $400 for a 2-day exposure camp than a month of training, which is, you know, asinine. But you have to convince them. You have to be so good they can't ignore you. You have to sell. But I would say, no, it's not on the decline. You just have to be so good that you have to attract them. So your drills have to be creative. They have to be right. If you know, your drills have to be competent, game-like. Your personality has to be engaging. It helps to demonstrate. All right, the better your demonstrations, the better, more apt you're going to be to draw kids. Now, again, you don't have to demonstrate at all. My mentor, Kevin Eastman, one of the best teachers I've ever been around, never shoots a ball, never dribbles a ball when he works out kids, or he used to work out kids. But I'm telling you, it's a business. If that's your only revenue stream and you want high school kids, you might have to be able to demonstrate a little bit better than them or on the same level as them. The reason I demonstrated so much is, as I just made a commitment, that was going to be my style. And I still attract a lot of high school players that don't even know me, because I can do the drills, I can shoot, I can dribble. A lot of times I can beat them. Every time. I haven't played a high school kid one-on-one. And I can't even remember me. I don't think I've been beaten by a high school kid ever. Maybe Keldon Johnson, maybe KJ at the Spurs. He visited me 4 years ago. He might have gotten 1 game, but he might have cheated. But I know I killed him. We played like 3 or 4 games. But my point is this, man. You have to have skills to pay the bills, all right? The high school player is not on decline. There's a lot of high school players that need you, that want you, that desire you. You just have to go out and organize yourself from a business perspective and a coach perspective, okay, to draw that client. You got to draw that client. So it's not on the decline, and it is harder to gain those clients. But if you want to run a lucrative 6-figure local training business, you should go after kids that are 6, 8, all the way to 18. And if you want to get to another level and start training pros and college kids, your revenue is going to suffer a little bit, but there are ways that you can do that. Last question, and then we'll get into my question that I wanted. From Tim Madden. You're related to John Madden, Tim. Just a thought. I don't know. How would one set up being a basketball trainer that travels? Same thing I said with Spencer. If you're good and you market yourself, they'll ask you to come train them in another city, another country. So it's not something that you manipulate. You can't, hey, how do I go train? No, if you're good, all right, get yourself out there and they'll find you. So number one, I would say you got to get yourself out there. How's your social media? Do you do cold calls? You know, it's how I started, and I still do this. You walk into a gym, you find a decision maker, an AD, a coach, a parent, a mature kid. Hey, do you value basketball training? I'm a basketball coach. I'm a professional player development coach. Would you like to work out with me? I love to work out your team. I watch them. I see you do this, and well, I can enhance that. Here's some things that you might want to think about, but you have to go out and you have to sell yourself. So, you have to pick which geographic location do you want to travel to. I would say be the best in your city and then try to travel within the state. Be the best in your state. And when I say the best in this industry is do your best. Do a great job in your state. Do a great job in your city. And then maybe look to bordering states. That's what I did. I started training, did a good job with the Boo Williams kids, and I was invited to speak at 5-Star Camp in Radford. I ran Station 13 at Radford. It was a 5-star camp, 500 players. I spoke the last night, did a camp talk, got a standing ovation. College coaches were there. High school coaches were there. Hey, man, we like what you did in that hour. Can you fly to our state and do that with our team for 2 days? Yeah. What's your budget for that? I don't know, Gannon. What do you charge? $1,000 a day. Done. Is that all you charge? No, let me think about it. I got to go back. Maybe I misquoted, but I mean, that's how I did it, man. But you have to be ready for the opportunity to train. If you're not ready, all right, it's not going to come. So prepare now to know everything about the game. All right. I started out training guards. I became better at training forwards, and I made sure I knew how to train fives. I started out, knowing the 3-out, 2-in offense. I studied the 4-out, 1-in offense. Then I studied the NBA game, right? The dribble drive, the read and reacts, quick hitters, late shot clock plays, early shot clock plays, actions in fast break. I never really touched defense because I couldn't cover everything. And I always felt, defense, I can leave that up to their team coaches. I don't have enough time to be a master in defense. I'll know defense from the defensive coverages. So I studied defensive coverages, but I mastered the offensive counters. That's what I really sunk my teeth into. There's not a defensive question out there that I don't have an answer for. And if I don't know it, you better be darn sure I'm gonna go that night and ask Siri, ask Google, call my mentors. Hey man, what do you do off of triangle and 2 when they're blitzing a ball screen out of that? So it's something that I knew what I wanted to teach, and to be able to work and travel and train everybody's team, everybody's player. I made sure I had a lot of information in my toolbox so that when I had a gig or a lead or an event, it was always custom made. I didn't bring Gannon Baker's system, which I'm telling you, I'm not going to kill anybody, but there's a lot of skilled coaches, trainers out there, and that's what they are. They're trainers that train a system. All right. I encourage you guys to have a philosophy on basketball. So if you went to Canada, right, y'all are speaking the same language. It's the basketball system. It's not your system. It's your philosophy. It's your charisma. It's your personality. But you got to learn how to teach players jump stop and 1-2 step. You got to learn how to teach players to pivot off the right foot and left foot. You got to teach players how to catch with 2 hands and 1 hand. You got to teach players how to play off a 2-guard front and a 1-guard front. You got to teach players how to post up in a pro post set and a high school post set. You got to teach players how to reverse pivot and outside. Like it's not like, hey, this is my way. No, if you want to make a lot of revenue and you want to be supported by everybody, you have to adjust and adapt and learn how to fit in their system and be like a liaison and a subcontractor and an assistant coach for that month, that day, that year. That's what I have done. And so I'm not contradicting, right, that coach, I'm complimenting that coach. And so when I have an open mind and I'm not stubborn and I'm not trying to convince coach, you're wrong. Because a lot of times I'll go in and that coach is probably not doing something that I like. So I don't confront him with criticism. I confront him with kindness. And I ask, what do you think about this? Coach, I'm going to do this. It's not wrong what you're doing, but take a look at this and see what you think. And I teach it with such efficiency and passion and conviction that he's like, man, I learned something today. I've been teaching for 40 years. The best compliment I got in Vegas was a guy from Stanford. He'd been coaching for 40 years. He was at the clinic, and I taught him 5, 6, 7 things he said, to the point where he had to write it down because he couldn't really get it when I was demonstrating it. Now, I'm probably going too quick. I only have 45 minutes. But he was like, no, you stretched my mind. You made me think about things that I haven't really thought about. And so to me, that's a compliment, because this guy's been teaching 40 years. He knows the game. He's at Stanford. But yet I was able to do some player development drills to get his mind stretching and thinking. And so how do you travel? You got to be great, man. You got to be great, and you got to be ready to teach at a high level. And then, like I told with the college player, it comes down to marketing, man. You got to put yourself out there. So social media, videos, YouTube, cold calls. Hey, coach, I see you're in Iowa. I'd like to travel. I heard about your, program. What do you think about having me in? So no question you do that. But again, I really think if you're good and people see you, let your dream be known, and people will help you with that. All right, man. Those are the 3 questions. How we doing?
Man, we're doing good. I think I think that's great. You covered them. I know there's a couple more. Whoever's on, I know that you guys sent some stuff in, but I think it's best right now. Gannon talked for a while, so in order, just unmute yourself, ask a question. Let's open it up. Let's ask Gannon a bunch of things. But before we do that, shout out to a couple OGs. G-Bake. We got Travis Washington, and we got Brandon Paquin. Man, these guys have been around in our mentorship program before I know.
Yeah, Travis, man, what's up, man? Yeah, Travis been around for a while. And B's going. Brandon, you going to Ireland? I think that's his.
Yes, sir, I am.
That's your first European trip?
Yes, I've been to Puerto Rico and Canada also, but first over the water. Yep.
Well, I think he might be in Dublin. So if you're in Dublin, you got to say hello to Pete Strickland. He's the
yes. I will be in Belfast, Dublin, and Limerick.
Okay.
I'll be over there 3 weeks now.
I would hate to make this, a Zoom call announcement, but he no longer is G-Bake. He got, they don't have the budget for the big time coach anymore, so he's no longer the coach there.
When did this happen?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh man. Well, B, email me. I'll give you a list of all our contacts over in Ireland.
You got it.
All right. And then Travis, man, you still in Oklahoma?
He's muted. He's not unmuted, but it's okay.
Okay.
He is though. He's still out there. I know he is.
Excellent.
So I see a couple people unmuted. Courtney, a couple of Galaxy phones. So whoever wants to get going, get going.
Yeah, we got time for a few questions.
I'll jump in here.
Yeah, based on the three topics I talked about today.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's Tony here, the Galaxy A5.
There you go. Tony, you're in China now.
Yeah, I'm in China right now.
Is Big Lee helping you out over there?
What's that?
Is Big Lee, my business manager over there, helping you out?
Oh yeah, I was speaking to him through WeChat. I just need to know like concrete dates to meet, like when, I don't know when you're gonna be in Beijing or what.
We'll do that. I'll send you that email.
Yeah, email me all that, and we can get you that info. But I'm coming there July 30th.
Okay, and also, so go ahead.
Yeah, actually, man, I wanted to ask you guys. So, Tony, you go first. In your opinion, and I'm putting you on the spot. You just got one skill to teach. What do you think the best individual, physical, offensive skill to teach a player is? If you only had him for a little amount of time and you're trying to teach him the most important skill that he needs, what would you teach him and why?
I would say definitely shooting, because all 5 positions need to be able to shoot. It opens up the key, especially if you're a 4 or a 5 that has range. Also, free throws are very important. I mean, it can make or break a game, and it's easier to drive because the opponent will have to close out closer to you if you can shoot the ball.
Okay. All right.
Can I chime in on that?
Courtney, yeah.
Yes, hi. I'm in Miami. My niche is kind of the bigs, but again, I'm in Miami. The culture doesn't grow them as big as, they do in Tennessee.
Correct.
So as far as offense, I tried to focus on changing your speed, level, and direction at all positions and reading the defense, knowing because I feel like if that's not drilled enough, then in a game, you can shoot all you want, but are they going to be good shots? Are you going to be caught up mentally because you don't know what's a good shot? You're not making the reads aren't automatic. But as I transition into working with guards, I want to know, is that okay? Yes, focusing on shooting and free throws, but I want to get to the point where these kids can read the defense and really apply what they're taking in their training sessions into games. So, I don't know, I'm used to working with big post player centers and then power forwards because that's what I played at Tennessee. So that comes easy, but now, down here it's more point guards and guards. So what are the best, how do you start? What is the most important thing? Because I work on those 3 changes a lot, and I spend a lot of time just doing little drills, working on changing your speed level and direction and reading. But it can get kind of boring, so.
Right. Well, Courtney, let me get back to you on my answer because I don't want to. I'm curious. You played you played for Coach Summit?
Yes.
Okay.
2000, 2004. So it's been a while.
That's my era, Courtney. That's my era.
Yeah. I don't know if he was there, but one of my good friends, Dean Lockwood.
Yes, love him. He wasn't there when I was there, but he's another mentor of mine that I kind of reach out to a lot.
He's phenomenal.
Yes.
But I got a great answer for you in the sense of just my opinion. But I will say this, in my experience, there's more kids that need that. Kids nowadays, everybody has a trainer. It's cool to go work out, then post it on the gram, Instagram. And so I find more kids are pretty skilled. Obviously, they need to get to a more consistent level, but they can't go to the game and then now make an either or decision. They can't go to the game and make a split decision off the bounce, off the catch, off the finish, off the cut. And so keep teaching that, especially in Florida. I've been here in Florida almost 8 years. I used to live in Coral Springs, which is close to Miami. And the Florida kids here are wonderfully gifted, but man, they're not very smart. And so keep teaching the decision making, but I will get back to you about exactly how I would package those guards, what I would teach them, and probably what the most important skill is that you should harp on every single day. But I'd like to get some more answers before I give mine. Who else we got? Galaxy's S9. Who is that?
This is Paris Cherry.
Okay. What would your be your go-to skill that you would teach if you only had a limited time, or you think is the most important individual?
I'm gonna have to agree with the first answer, shooting, because at every position in today's game, you gotta be able to shoot the ball. And whether you're a player that's just coming off of pin downs, even some type of dribble handoff action to get you an open shot. If you can shoot the ball, I think you can play. There's always going to be a place for you on the level that you're at. I think we look at Klay Thompson, who, had, almost 70 points, and they said he dribbled the ball like, maybe 8, 9, 10 times in a game. Another stat that I remember is, basically that, 80% of all baskets scored in the NBA are off of 2 or 3 dribbles. So, you can have a basic dribbling skill level, but if you're able to shoot the ball, I think it's a place for you, and therefore that's why I think it's the most important skill to teach.
What was that percentage you said in the NBA, points scored off a dribble?
I believe it was like 87% of all points were scored off of 2 to 3 dribbles.
By that player.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. You said 87% of people that score the ball in the NBA use 2 to 3 dribbles.
Right, scores, yeah.
Correct, got it. No, I think I've read that stat, but that's some good. I love answers that are backed up with real stuff, like practical stuff. And I just came from Vegas and spent some time with some NBA guys I know out there. Analytics is taking over. I mean, it's the real deal, and I'm not sure I buy into everything, but it really, really makes your argument stick. So that was good. Coop, what you got, man?
What's happening? Honestly, I think, shooting is definitely important, but I think the most important skill, a lot of the things I kind of focus on is being able to kind of create separation to make a play, period. Whether it's to get separation to make a pass, make a play, or be able to take an open shot. I mean, I've been a smaller guard my entire life. And when I started playing against high-level guys, it's tough to be able to create space to be able to see. Like, you can see a play, but if you can't get the basketball to open spots and make a play, like, you're no good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you'll be good for a certain level, but high level, Division II, Division I, pro level, if I'm being guarded by a 4-star athlete that's 6'4", I got to be able to get separation if I'm 6 feet or lower, and
So
being able to get your shot off. You're
saying create separation with the dribble, right?
Yep. Being able to handle basketball, create some separation.
Hey, Coop, I've asked this question to about 25 people, most of them college and pro, a few high school, and that's the first time somebody said that. So you have a unique answer.
Oh, appreciate it.
Who else we got? Devin, what's your answer? Oh, Devin, you muted. Uh-oh.
No, he's not. He's not muted. We just can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, Devin, can't hear you, man. You got sign language, man? Can you do? I can't hear you, man. Rice.
Can you hear me now?
How you guys doing?
Who's that? Devin? Yeah, I got you, Devin.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go with Coop, man. I believe, I understand the importance of shooting and everything like that, but if I can't get to my spots, then Courtney, I think Courtney said it too. If I can't get to my spots, then how good is that shot going to be? You know what I mean? When I get into the gym, the first thing that I do is I put that ball in their hand, and we're doing sweeps, rips, and step throughs. That's it. And until they get that motion down, then that's when we progress. But to go back to my guy, I don't know his name, but he was talking about the percentages about Klay Thompson and stuff. I felt as though as when I was a younger player, I learned the motion of basketball when I learned to handle the ball itself. So after I learned that, moving without the ball became simpler and easier. So that's why I really believe that ball handling itself is probably number one in my opinion. That's the first thing we do when we get in the gym. Ball handling, then triple threat, then you're moving.
D, I feel you, man. You're the second person out of now 26 that have said that. So I'm feeling that. Great answer. But obviously shooting is, you got to shoot the ball too. You got to read. Like, all of them are important, right? But the question was, you just got to pick one. But this is good. This is helping me a lot. Garrett, what's up, man? West Virginia.
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Not bad. Man, if I would have to say, I would say the main thing that I go for I go footwork. I think footwork is really undervalued. That's one of the first things. Like I had a kid to come for a first time the other day, and first thing we started working on was footwork. And his dad was like, I took him to another trainer, and he's doing all these dribbling drills. And, I was just working on the footwork, coming off the dribble, 1-2 step. And the dad was really into that. So at least for me, footwork has been real big for me the past year and a half.
Let me break it down. Assume that footwork is a given. So like if you say shooting, obviously you're going to teach footwork with shooting. It's creating off the dribble. Somebody's got a dog in the house. Who let the dogs in? Like who got the dogs? Mute that, man. Although Garrett, you got some dog in you, brother. I like you. Creating off the dribble, right? We assume, Garrett, that we're gonna teach footwork in that. So elaborate a little bit more when you say I teach them footwork. What do you mean? Are you putting them through jump roping drills, ladder drills, or are you teaching footwork in a move?
When I'm doing the footwork, I think it's more like Coop had said, separation wise, using jab steps.
So off the catch, off the dribble.
Correct. Yeah, that's the way that I'm going with it.
Got it. All right. Outstanding. Again, man, you got to. I mean, you got to get kids, I call it, pressure releases. How do they release pressure? Especially short players. I was a short player. I was always the shortest guy. I was 6'1", but I was the shortest guy on my college team and over in Iceland. So you gotta find ways to separate off the catch. Again, guys, if you don't, this is how I layer my workouts. I give them a move and a counter off the catch, which is triple threat. I give them a move and a counter off the dribble, right? I give them a move and a counter off a 1-foot finish. And I give them a move and a counter off a 2-foot finish. And I give them a move and a counter off the cut, no screen. And I give them a move and a counter, coming off a screen. So that's unless I miss something, guys. That's all the one-on-one situations a kid will face in a game, or have a potential to. Not saying he'll face every situation in a game like that, but you're preparing him as a total player. So like Kobe, LeBron, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, all those guys are total players. They can create space off the catch, off the cut, everything I just said. So, let me give you my answer, and I'm sorry. Well, you know what? Let me go to Adrian. Let me go to you, man. One more. I got time for one more answer, and then I'll break down what I said.
Hi, guys. Good evening there.
Adrian, by the way, Adrian, he's in Malaysia. He's our Gannon Baker mentorship from Malaysia.
Malaysia.
I'm actually in the Philippines right now because I went home. I'm originally from the Philippines, but I'm based in Malaysia. I'm on vacation right now.
All right, man. Good to have you.
Thanks. Regarding your question, I gotta agree with two guys. I've always been taught that ball handling is the number one fundamental skill that you need to teach kids or whoever, because it just gets you to places in the court, like it puts you in position, it puts yourself into positions to maybe shoot the ball, whether you want to pass the ball or shoot or drive. It gets you to spots where you want to be in the court. So I agree, but shooting, especially now, is in today's game is very important. The statistics that someone, sorry, I don't know the guys yet. So someone mentioned shooting off dribble, like you don't really need to dribble that much to score on a game. I agree with that. Klay Thompson is someone who represents that this particular movement shooting without dribbling that much. But I still have to go with ball handling as far as the most important skill, because it just leads you to something to another skill on the court that you can use.
Yeah.
And like that.
Well, man, number one, thanks for following us all the way from Philippines, Malaysia. But by the way, that's my favorite country to visit, is the Philippines. And you know, Manila is a little crowded, but it's still my favorite country because of the passion and the work ethic of your people there on and off the court. So phenomenal. But hey,
before you go, Joe has something to say. He raised his hand. He's polite. He's a polite guy.
Joe, we got you, Joe. What's up, man? Joe. Yo, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Where's Joe?
There he is. What's up, Joe?
Joe. What you got? Joe.
Can't hear you, brother.
Oh, I'm penetrating kicking, Joe. Knock down that shot. Hey, does Joe speak English, Mija?
You know, Joe. Anyway, Joe, we can't hear you, brother.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can hear
just
somebody.
Now. Joe, you look like on video. Joe, you look like James Harden. I got excited for a second.
Hey, but I'm not Joe. I'm Rice actually, but I get that a lot. I'm actually in Hong Kong, but I think I would agree with Adrian on the ball handling. Just because I work on the grassroots level, definitely kids in Hong Kong, and whenever you look at a game, these kids are not shooting on these spectacular, efficiently level shooting. It's the kids who can dribble the ball who are getting the most shots, right? So they're weaving through players. All the kids are shooting awful percentages in a sense, but it's those kids who separate themselves who can really, really dribble, use the ball to get to the spots to finish at the little hoop. Those are the kids that I find are the ones that kind of find success, and they kind of lead to other skills that you can teach because they're finding success within the game. So ball handling, especially on the younger level, is kind of one of the most important skills that I do teach. Ball handling, passing, advancing the ball so you can get a shot. To just kind of piggyback off Adrian.
You explained it better than me, man. Thank you.
No worries. I want to give you a little assist. You know, since we're not far. I'm in Hong Kong, here in Philippines. You know, we're neighbors.
Yeah, thanks.
Adrian, grow a beard, man, and it helps you articulate better. Man, your brain works when you got some fluff right here, man.
I just shaved, so maybe that's it.
Hey, I'm interested though. We have all these people. We have Miami. I'm in Canada. We have Hong Kong. We have Malaysia. Where else is everybody from? I know Courtney's. Where are you? Where are you guys from?
I'm from Boston. I live in Louisville now, and I'm in Vegas. I'm in Vegas currently today.
Nice.
I'm a Jersey kid.
Yeah, I'm from New York, so I'm in New York.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. I know Coop. That's cool.
Yeah, I know. That's when I saw Devin Still. I saw you up there, man. I'm chilling. You know. Great minds think alike. That's why we're here.
There you go.
Brandon from Louisville, Joe's from Florida, Brittany's from Canada. Anthony, where you from, man?
I'm from Burlington. So I've been talking to Mihai. So Mihai, what's up?
What's going on, man?
Man, always happy, man. Always cheerful. I always appreciate your hospitality. So you just keep an open door, and I appreciate that big time.
No problem, man. No problem. Anytime.
No, I know what's up.
Well, good to have you, man. I wanna tell you what I think is the most important. I posed the question because I think about it a lot. I think I've been thinking about it ever since I was training, because if you think about this, like we're different from team coaches in the sense of we might have a player one time, we might have a player, for a month, but very rarely have I ever had a player for more than a year. There have been some players that, yes, have trained with me locally for, I think the longest was 4 years. But if they did train with me over the course of a decade, they were in and they were out, time, schedule, we're not their real coaches. Time is a problem. Now, even with team coaches, have games, sometimes rules prevent them from training them. So even team coaches have a limited time with their players. The NBA is different. Like, those guys are professionals. They're paid to train all year round. The coaches are paid to train all year. That's just different. So I'm talking about from college to the grassroots. So me, and again, I pose this to, now it's, I guess, up to 35 people. But before the podcast, I had asked about 25 people, hey, man, what do you think the best skill is? And 95% of them said shooting. Few people said footwork. Few people said, reading. My long answer is all of them are important, right? You got to teach all of them. So if you're teaching shooting and not dribbling, you're correct. If you're teaching reading and not, dribbling or passing, you're correct. But I agree with Coop and a couple other guys, man. Look, you got to teach a player how to create off the dribble. The dribble initiates offense. The dribble creates shots for shooters. The dribble gets into a position to pass to the guy off the screen. The dribble creates everything. And so you can't pass unless you have space. How do you get space? Well, you can definitely do it off the catch, but you got to cross the ball against defense. A lot of teams now press. So you got to have guys that can handle the rock. Golden State is unguardable because players 1 through 5, can handle the ball. Now, the NBA game is different than the grassroots game, but the skill of everybody can handle, right, should be popular in ninth grade ball, 9-year-old ball. If everybody can handle the ball on a team, that team's going to do pretty well, whatever level they're at. Now, to win a championship and to be consistent, you got to do other things. But we always talk about in our curriculum, if you get the ball to the paint, that's called a paint touch. And the best way to get the ball to the paint is to spread out and just catch and rip, catch and drive, come off a ball screen. The game now is turning into, as Courtney said, there's a lot of small people. And if they do have big people, they don't want to play inside no more. Everybody wants to face up. So kids are going to quit basketball if they're tall and the coach puts them inside. So you want to keep kids playing every year. You want to keep the fun in the game. So you teach people to spread out. So offenses now in every level are going 4 out, 1 in, 5 out. And so when you run a 5 out, everybody has a chance to dribble and drive. Everybody has a chance to come off DHOs. Everybody has a chance to catch and rip. And I know Billy Donovan believes this. This is where I got him. He was at Florida, not OKC. They chart paint touches. So they want to chart every time on offense the ball gets to the paint. And you get to the paint by driving and hitting cutters or posting up. And when you get the ball to the paint, right, 4 things happen. Number 1, more fouls occur. That's real talk. Number 2, you're closer to the basket. Well, coach, I don't teach the mid-range game. Well, are you an NBA coach? Because the NBA is just a different world. I get it there. I don't get it in college. I don't get it in high school. If you're a high school coach, college coach, JV coach, freaking teach the mid-range, man. One of the reasons Chris Paul got traded tonight. I don't know if y'all heard that. But Chris Paul butted heads with D'Antoni because Chris Paul was like, look, I'm shooting the mid-range. I did it in high school. I did it at Wake Forest. I did it for the Clippers. I did it for the Pelicans, the Hornets. Look, I'm going to shoot the mid-range. Y'all forget F your analytics. The mid-range, Kobe, one of the greatest. Anyway, the mid-range is, you got to teach it, especially at our level, grassroots. So you're closer to the basket. Number 3, more offensive rebounds, because the dribble is supposed to bring 2 players to the ball. Now you have your space. If you got a guy that can't bring 2 players to the ball and deliver a good pass or shot, you got to teach them better with the dribble. And then so when you bring 2 people to the lane, you're going to have kickouts. Now your shooters are shooting open shots or they're driving against closeouts. And closeouts, when you have a closeout, it's the best time to drive. And you create closeouts by driving and splitting, which is a European term. Apologize. I just came back from Germany and Greece. Driving and kicking right? You're going to create closeouts. And you also create closeouts by backing up. And I think one of the coaches today said, you know, I was small, so I had to back up and create space with the dribble. So, you know, those are the 4 reasons you get to the paint. Number 1, you're going to get fouls. Number 2, you're going to get offensive rebounds because you bring 2 to the ball. And if you shoot it, it's hard to box out. Number 3, you're going to create receivers. You'll create open receivers. And number 4, more fouls occur. I think I covered all of them. So the best way to do that is the dribble. So I get Clay. He only used 2 or 3 dribbles, but I guarantee you he was set up by Steph, who dribbled the ball 100 times. You know, Clay, no question, can shoot the basketball, but it's always based off a dribble handoff from Draymond, a driving kick from KD. He's coming off pins because Steph Curry is separating at some angle, or Quinn Cook, to deliver him the ball. So my suggestion to a lot of coaches is you should do ball handling every day. You should do tennis ball drills, 2-ball drills. However you improve a player's handle, you know, start out stationary and then do it on the move, and have them do it against chairs and cones. And, you know, we have a philosophy. We go form, game speed, and then contact reads. And so you're teaching the kid, all right, how to dribble. If he can do it at game speed. If he can do it against dummy defense or a cone. And if he can do that, then put him in a situation where he's got to read or play against real flesh contact. So if Courtney's still on the phone call, you know, I think you're doing great teaching them how to read. I would do ball handling every day, dribbling every day, passing off the dribble, shooting off the dribble, passing and cutting off the dribble. And then she asked, you know, what else how do I build up my guard workout? Well, you got to give them a move and a counter off the bounce. Give them a move and a counter off 1 foot, move and a counter off 2 feet. Teach them how to pass off their left, how to pass off their right. There's like 8 different pivots. When they stop, there's about 8 different techniques you can pass with. Our curriculum has all those. And then, you know, you got to get them to be able to play in different angles on the court. You know, getting the ball to a slot and then delivering a pass. Getting the ball to the elbow, delivering a pass. They got to learn side pick and roll and middle pick and roll. All right. They got to be able to give it up and then come get it back. They got to be able to give it up, go cut away to the corner, give it up, go screen. But those are the main things that I would do. And basically the word is teach them how to be a playmaker. Teach your guards how to be a playmaker. You know, whether a 1 or a 2, can they create off the dribble? Can they create off the cut? Right? Can they create off the catch? There's Courtney. And then from your skill content, there are your drills. Don't build your drills first. Build your skill content. Like, I got a 1, what does he need? I got a 2, what does he need? I got a 3, what does he need? And our curriculum has a lot, obviously, more in depth, but it's so important. I'll say it again. Teach them how to create off the cut. Teach them how to create off the bounce, and teach them how to create off the finish. And again, when I say create, it means they're either going to shoot or pass. So a lot of coaches forget to get passing reps to their players, you know, where you got to pass off, like you went in to finish, now you got to pass. You went in to finish off 2 feet, you go through your step through, now you got to. So I always do scores and passes off a move. So if they're doing a jab step, they're going to jab shoot, then they're going to jab pass. If they're doing a step through, they're going to step through shoot 5-6 times, and then they're going to step through pass and then get it back or go to another spot. Very effective, and then it develops them to now, you know, because if you get a kid a lot of shots, they're going to go into their team and they're going to be thinking shoot, 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 shoot. And they got to be able to play with 4 other teammates. And then if we have time, as I said, time's a factor. we teach them, that guard, how to screen, right? And then get it back. So great question, Courtney. Great answers, coaches. The players, the coaches that said shooting, not wrong. No question you can teach shooting first or shooting the most. It's a lost start. I had a few coaches that I polled said passing is the most important, which it's not the first thing I teach, but that's not wrong. You know what I mean? But I just think if you got a kid that's never played basketball before, what does everybody do? They teach them how to handle. And after the jump ball, right, you don't see teams shooting it. You don't see teams, setting a screen. After you jump ball, guy gets it, 90% of the time, they're either kicking it ahead or they're dribbling to a spot to initiate. And I think creating off the dribble is the most important skill. So I'm going to put out a huge blog on it. I already got into some arguments in Vegas with some high-level NBA coaches. They thought I was stupid. But, again, it comes back. I don't care what label you have. And don't be intimidated by people's experience or labels. Don't take something that I give you and believe it just because I've done it for 20-some years, 19 as a business. Do research. Think about it. Go back, pray on it. If you're a believer, I go to God all the time with basketball questions, man. He got Air Jesus right next to him every day, So I want you guys to be convicted and not copy. Right? Some things are so truthful. Yeah, you go copy exactly, and that makes sense. But a lot of things, when you develop your coaching philosophy and teaching philosophy, you got to be convicted on everything, even the simplest things. Why am I teaching inside pivot foot off the screen? Why am I teaching permanent pivot foot off a catch? Why am I teaching the jump pass? And so everything that I learned in basketball from a player and now a coach, I was convicted. And I didn't copy. When I tried to copy something, it just didn't flow. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't authentic. And I felt like a puppet. So, and if you try to copy and coach, you're going to be exposed. You're going to get frustrated. All right, Miha, that's all I got tonight, man. I got to eat and give my wife some loving. You know what I mean?
I don't, but it's okay.
Okay.
I don't want to know that.
Okay.
But I need to eat as well. But it's okay. I think you cover. I want to keep doing this. I think again, you expressed to me the other day that the more questions we get, the better the conversations are. The more people can talk about it, we can interact. You guys will get this video in your inbox. You can re-listen to it. You can take some more notes on it. But let's keep on going. Let's keep spreading the love. Let's keep teaching the right way. Let's keep on building players the way we need to build them.
Yeah, I got a final thought. We had 3 good questions today. Hit us with more questions, things that you want to talk about, things that you struggle with. I always want techniques that are great, like techniques that work, instructional strategies, drills, concepts, parables, words, methods of teaching and inspiring and executing that I can use in my coaching clinics, my classes with my kids. And the second thing is, if you get a lot out of this Zoom call, put it out on social media for people to start mentorship, because they need to hear what I'm saying, and they need to hear what you're saying. A lot of you guys, the last 2 Zoom calls, I've been blown away with the competence, the intelligence, the common sense of teaching. I mean, I got lucky, and I was at the right place at the right time in the year 2000 to do this. And when I hear intelligent people say some things that impacts me, I'm like, man, if they were in my city in 2000, they'd be doing this at this level. So don't get it twisted, man. I'm never the smartest guy in the room. And I always enjoy hearing other people do things that works for them. It doesn't matter if they don't have the resume. All that matters is they're being the best version of their self where they're at. So invite more people on this call. They need to hear you. It's a great networking too, man. It's great networking. We got a guy in Malaysia. Somebody wants to travel. So there you go. You can network with the guy in Malaysia, and if y'all connect, he can invite you. Brandon's going to Ireland. He's on this call tonight. Connect with him. Maybe he can connect you with some people in Ireland. But I know Brandon is great. That's why he's going to Ireland, because he was invited. Somebody saw his value. So, Brandon, man, bring me back a shamrock or something, man. Give me some good luck.
Hey, anything you want.
Huh?
Brandon, I played
Some
professionally
Irish
in
you want.
Limerick.
Bring me back something. I've never been to Ireland. I've been to Scotland. All right.
Hey, I've never been to Ireland either, so.
Yeah, well, bring me
Makes
back
both of
something,
us.
man.
Hey, you got it.
Courtney,
right.
you got something to say or no?
I was telling Brandon I played professionally in Limerick for 4 years for it's called UL Aughinish. So I've got, if you need any contact, and now it'll be on the female basketball side, but I do have a connect in Limerick because I did play professionally there for a while.
I'll connect you guys via email. That way you and Brendan can talk directly.
That'll be awesome. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Courtney, that would be cool. Send the email. Please connect the email so I can send Courtney an email, because I have a lot of female clients. Actually, I'm going to be going to Chicago on the 24th of August to work out a young lady who's just in El Salvador, and she's going to Poland in September. So I really do enjoy the female clients. They work hard, they listen, they know exactly what they want to do. I think the last call that we were on, again, was talking about with pros, when they want to work out, they already have an idea of what they want to do. They know for sure exactly what they want. And she gave me a list of things, and I go right into my archive.
Yeah.
So
I'll make sure that the next step our team sends a document with everybody's contact information on it, so you guys can talk to each other.
And if anybody's listening out there, my wife is a junior college coach here at Eastern Florida. So.
She is. She had one of my when she was at Bluefield. She actually signed one of my players, Whitney Smith, when she was at Bluefield College. So I met your wife once, just in that kind of thing, and then also she had a player that I trained. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She just lost her father not too long ago. Pender is her last name. So she's up there now. So
yeah. Taylor.
No, I want to say it starts with Alana,
Yeah,
something like that.
She did lose her father. Yes.
Yeah. So, he loves basketball. So once I can build here, I want to get over to the Bahamas and do some work over there as far as basketball goes with females, and kind of do that to honor him and that family, because they were really good to me when I first moved down here to Florida.
That's awesome. I know you will end up doing that. You seem like you got a lot of drive. So that's good. That's awesome. I have some contacts.
If we can have
contacts in the Bahamas. I got 3 good contacts in the Bahamas that once you go, or if you need them, we can give those to you.
That'd be awesome. I appreciate everything.
Yeah, I've been there 3 times, man, and it's a great. They got a lot of passion, but no AC, and most of the courts are cement. So get ready for the Creed training. Creed. You ever see Creed? It's like Creed 2, man. I'm going over there, old school.
You're getting Creed in the first minute.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we'll send the link out. We'll make sure everybody gets the link, and we'll keep growing on this. This was call number 2. I think it's going really well. So let's you guys have a crush tonight, and review all this tomorrow, and we keep going.
All right. Thanks, Mina.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
See everybody.
Peace. Keep getting after it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.